Happy Monday, Motivational Monday. Yes, it is with Maureen. Well, we're going to continue in Philippians about joy. Remember, we've been doing that the last couple of weeks. We're in chapter 1. Well, we are up to verse 19, but I just last week I failed to point out that in one verse, he says rejoice twice. I love that. He says rejoice. He says, and because of this, I rejoice. And then he says, and yes, I continue to rejoice. And as we talked about last week, that was his choice. He chose to rejoice. That's what he did. And he goes on, now we're going to start in 19 with, for I know that through your prayers and the help given by the Spirit of Jesus Christ, what has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. I love that. Do you just hear his confidence in that? Through prayers of the saints, the prayers of a righteous person availeth much, is what the word tells us. So Paul says he's rejoicing because he knows that the prayers that the saints are praying, and by God's Holy Spirit, which he's calling the Spirit of Jesus Christ, what's happened to him, and no matter what it was, and we know he's in jail right now, but what's happened to him will turn out for his deliverance. But listen, he's not pinning his hope and his expectations on even getting out of jail. He says deliverance, but listen to what he follows up with. He says, I eagerly expect and hope that I will in no way be ashamed, but will have sufficient courage so that now, as always, Christ will be exalted in my body. And he says, whether by life or by death. So he's, it's not that he's expecting a certain thing to happen. What he is expecting is that Christ will be glorified and exalted by him, through his whatever is happening to him. That's what he puts his confidence in, not in what, I usually tend to figure out how it should look the best, and then, just know that God's going to probably do it that way. But I love Paul's example here is that he just says he's not going to be ashamed, and he trusts that God's going to just, by Paul's obedience, will be exalted. Christ will be exalted. So boy, take that for some motivation for today. No matter what we're going through, when we keep our eyes fixed and focused on the author and the finisher of our faith, and we rejoice because we have confidence. And how do you do that? You keep choosing. You choose to do that. It's not a natural thing for us, but if we choose it, God helps us with that. So there's some motivation for you today. That was Philippians. Kind of went back to 18, but I went 19 through 20, 19 and 20. I got through 2 verses. That's pretty good. All right, you guys. Happy Monday. I will see you next week. Love you.